Good morning, grammar students. Today's lesson is lesson 212, the simple present. Today we're going to focus our questions to ask about information including when and what time. Last week we did questions using the word where to get information about location. Today we're going to be focusing on getting information about time, when and what time. So to do this, we start with says Q word, that means question word. We're going to use do, or we're going to use does. The subject, you, he, she, I, we, they, and then the main verb. So here's an example. When do you go to class? A short answer would be 9 o'clock. Our class meets at 9 o'clock. What time do you go to class? At 9 o'clock. It also works. When does Anna eat dinner? At 6 p.m. What time does Anna eat dinner? At 6 p.m. I want you to notice something. Many of you guys struggled on the last assignment with do and does. Remember, I'm going to use do with subjects like I. I do my homework. You do your homework. They do their homework. We do our homework. But it's going to change when we're talking about he or she. She does her homework. He does his homework. Okay? So make sure you're using do and does at the right spot. All right. What time do you usually go to class? These frequency adverbs, which we had back a few weeks ago, usually come immediately after the subject in the question. Like, what time does passez-vous usually come to class? Okay, so we're going to be using those verbs directly, or adverbs directly after the subject. Okay, so down here we're going to be making questions. That's our job. And the questions that we make are going to be given to us with some hints underneath by the letter B. So it says, when / what time do you eat breakfast? The answer given is at 7:30. I eat breakfast at 7:30 in the morning. Okay, here we've got question 2. When or what time do you usually eat breakfast? Alex usually eats breakfast at 7 o'clock. Let's take a look at number 3. It says at 6:45. I get up at 6:45. So what would the question have been? What time do you get up? I get up at 6:45. Remember, A is one person and B is another person talking. It's a conversation. We call this a dialogue. So don't make sure you're not saying, what time do I get up? I get up at 6:45. You're not talking to yourself, right? So what time do you usually get up? I get up at 6:45. Now down here for number 4, we have Maria. That's a different person. So for that, we're going to use she, or we could use her name. What time does Maria usually get up? At 6:30. Okay. Do one more like this together. This one has a different subject. It's not a person, it's the movie. What time does the movie start? What time does the movie start? At 8:15. Okay. So you are creating questions for number 3, 4, 5, 6. You're going to continue creating some questions, okay? This is an oral part, so we're going to skip that. You don't need to do exercise 15. And this is going to be the next focus for the lesson. Using be and do. Now you might remember we talked about the verb be several times this year. This looks like this. Am, is, are, and do would be do or does. And the important thing in this is to know, when do I use which verb? So for this, we're going to be using a question word, when or what time. We're going to be using be and the subject. So where is Thailand? Thailand is in Asia. Where are your books? Using are because books is plural. My books are on my desk. When is the concert? Concert is on April 3rd. Down here, we're going to be using the question word plus do, the subject, who the person or who the sentence is about, who or what, and then a main verb. So you notice you can use is and are by themselves, but you're never just going to say, where do you? Where do you what? Where do you live? Where do you live? I live in Los Angeles. What time does the plane arrive? You wouldn't just say, what time does the plane? What time do monkeys eat? So when we use do and does, it's usually coming with another verb here. It is coming with another verb here, okay? Down on exercise 26, you are simply completing the dialogues. You have to choose. Are you going to use the word is, are, does, or do? And in order to do that, you have to, of course, look at what the subject is and look how the question is being asked. Look up here. You can always come back and check what this says. Okay, so first one says, what time the movie start? We've got the verb start, so I know I've got to use do or does. Does, because movie is singular. Third person. What time does the movie start? 7:15. Do you want to go with us? Okay, so you're simply filling in the blanks with do, does, is, or are. And when you get to exercise 27, you are completing some more questions similar to what we did the last time. And we're going to go ahead and I'm going to stop it at the bottom of page 69. That will be the last part for your lesson today. So practicing forming correct questions in English. Please, please, please be cognizant, which means aware, thinking about which word I use based on who we're talking about. Do, does, is, are. Okay? That's it for your grammar lesson for today. Have a wonderful Tuesday. Bye.